The left is really pushing right now. I got literally it sent to me a dozen times this weekend. Did you see the emails between Jeffrey Epstein and his brother Mark? Did you see? It's proof that Epstein was covering and had stuff on Trump as his sex life. All right. Here's Jeffrey Epstein's brother, Mark Epstein, joining us right now. Mark, I explained to people that you want to keep it on the phone because you're afraid of what's been done and threatened to you and your family. So I appreciate you sticking your head up to have this conversation.
That's okay. Thank you for the opportunity.
All right. Mark, just, easy suggestion. This back and forth with Jeffrey, where he tells you that Bannon is with him, and you say, oh, great, ask him if Putin still has photos of Donnie T, I'm assuming President Trump, with blowing, which we all know what that means, Bubba.
Let me stop you here. I'm not discussing that email. This is a private email between Jeffrey and myself. There's two brothers talking. It's nobody's business what we wrote. The only thing I responded to is because people got crazy with the Bubba reference and they tried to pin it on Clinton. So I made a public statement that it was not any reference to Bill Clinton. I like Bill Clinton, and I'm sorry for him that he had to go through that. But the email had nothing to do with Clinton, and that's my last word on that email. What I do want to talk about is I've been recently told the reason they're going to be releasing these things and the reason for the flip is that they're sanitizing these files. There's a facility in Winchester, Virginia, where they're scrubbing the files to take Republican names out of it. That's what I was told by a pretty good source. And my main focus.
Look, do you believe that? Do you believe? Hold on, Mark, hold on a second. Two things. One,
well, I believe that,
if you don't want to talk about it,
I don't have.
All right, I obviously you believe it. You just said it, but. All right, but Mark, hold on a second. Let me ask you a question.
Jeffrey did not commit suicide. That's my focus. I don't care about the files. Jeffrey's dead. So I don't care of the implications of the files. That's other people's problems. My brother did not commit suicide, and we're finding more information to prove that he didn't commit suicide. So the question becomes, who killed him? Well, who had him killed? I mean, Bill Barr is key to this cover. He's come up with so much bullshit. Okay, and lies, demonstrable, provable lies. Okay, that it's either he's covering it up or he's stupid. What?
All right. So one thing at a time. We've discussed the fact that you don't think your brother killed himself on the Chris Cuomo project on my podcast. People can go check out that conversation. You know, the head of the FBI and his number two, both of who used to suggest exactly what you are, says now that they've looked at everything, there is no proof that it was anything but suicide. Kash Patel, Dan Bongino.
Stop right there. They didn't look at anything. There was never a a homicide-capable investigation done. They called it a suicide early on to stop the investigation. If you read the DOJ report, it's all about the screw-ups in the jails. Cameras not working, guards not doing their job. It doesn't address the issue of the cause of his death. And it was misrepresented as a suicide because they didn't want to investigate. And more information.
So you're accusing the head of the FBI in this administration of a cover-up?
Absolutely. He said, he was the one who said in his testimony, you know it's suicide when you see one. I had to laugh. How many suicides has that jackass seen? Okay? He's not a doctor. He's not a pathologist. He never saw Jeffrey's body. He wasn't there, but he knows it's suicide.
Well, he's certainly changed his story about it. But I want to ask you one other thing, okay? And I get it. You don't want to talk about it. It was a private back and forth with your brother. Fine. But it is being used as proof that your brother had compromised information about Donald Trump. Is that what you are referring to, and is that what you suspect?
No, Jeffrey, in 2016, I said this publicly before, Jeffrey told me that if he said what he knew about the candidates, they'd have to cancel the election. He didn't tell me what he knew, but Jeffrey definitely had dirt on Trump. And you could see in the emails, Trump could deny it all he wants, but it's pretty clear. I mean, everything Trump says is a lie.
But that's not what you were talking about.
It's provable that he was in Jeffrey's office. He said he wasn't in the house. It's provable he was there. He said everything he says is a lie.
But that's not what you were talking about in the text thread. You don't know of any information that he had.
I'm not discussing that email.
Did you know or ever see any evidence that your brother had against Trump? Did you ever see any or hear any?
Just he told me he had it. He wouldn't tell me that if it wasn't true.
And how do you explain that it never came out and that Ghislaine Maxwell has never talked about it?
Well, yeah, she got a pretty sweet deal, you know.
She's in prison.
I'm not trying to hurt Ghislaine, but you know, one of the things I found interesting in her testimony is when she was asked about other people. You know, she said they weren't involved, they didn't do anything. But when she was asked about Trump, she went on at length about he was always a gentleman, he was always professional. And I said, why is he getting this special treatment of exoneration? And the other people, she just said, well, they didn't do anything. So, you know, even her lawyer said they cut the deal. So that's why I believe she said those things. Okay.
Did you know that your brother was talking to members of Congress during hearings?
No. Jeff and I didn't do business together. He didn't tell me those things.
Mark, I appreciate you giving your perspective. Thank you for doing it. And I understand you think it's a risk to you and the family. So thank you for taking the opportunity.
You're welcome. Good luck. I have to go. Thank you. Bye.
All right. That's the brother. For what it's worth, this back and forth that's being used as proof that Trump had something with some guy named Bubba, he was joking. All right. Now, let's bring in what is not a joke. Epstein was a monster, okay? And there is, to my understanding, if anything, an underestimate of how many people he hurt, all right? One of his survivors is Lisa Phillips. She now has a podcast that focuses on survivors of sexual abuse and, you know, to understand and empower and take control over what happened in their lives so that they can move forward. Now, I want to hear from her why these have to be released, what they want to come out, and what it means to them. Thank you very much for joining me. I'm glad you're getting traction and you're having success in getting people to talk about things in a way that empowers them instead of just putting a spotlight on what was done to them. So thank you for joining us.
Thank you so much for having me. It's a pleasure to be here.
So, Lisa, help me understand from the perspective of your unfortunate community that was formed around this monster, the idea that, well, the survivors, they'll put together a victims list. What do you make of that suggestion? Is that fair?
Well, unfortunately, I don't believe it's an unfortunate community. We were brought together for a greater purpose. And yes, it's unfortunate what happened to us, but coming together, we start to realize what happened to us. We fill in the blanks, we connect the dots. Even just this evening, sitting with many survivors, listening to the stories of the new victims that have come forward, I mean, we just get chills because the stories are all the same. The MO is the same. Doesn't matter if you're 14 or you're 24. The MO is exactly the same. And I just don't want people to forget that it wasn't just Jeffrey abusing young women and teenagers. He was trafficking them out. And the reason why I created my podcast is for people to understand this was a trafficking ring. A new victim that I just talked to earlier today at dinner told me her story, which was very similar, eerily similar to my story. And after being groomed by Jeffrey for quite a while, then she was trafficked out to another very, very powerful person that was not from the U.S. And she was telling that story, and everyone at the table was like, okay, that's what happened to me. That's what happened to me.
First, Lisa, thank you for the qualification. You're right, the way you describe that the circumstances that brought you together is not what defines what you can do together. And I think that's an important distinction, so thank you.
Right.
The other question is, why haven't the names come out before now? Unless they've just been subject to civil suits that were settled so people can't say anything or won't say anything. You know, if you know that there are other people other than Epstein, other than Prince or former Prince, you know, whatever his name is, why haven't they come out? And why hasn't a list been put together already?
It's so hard to answer that question because a list has been put together for years. Our attorneys, survivors, we've named names for years. And when I said we'll release the list, it was just speaking to more survivors to get more names on the list. The same names keep coming up. The same names that we've given with our attorneys to the DOJ, and the FBI is the same names they've always had. So we do want to help, but they already have had all the information they've needed to release for years now. And so to answer your question, I don't know why it's taken so long. I mean, isn't that the million-dollar question?
Look, I think so. I mean, you heard what I said off the top of the show. I've always wanted things released, and for the right reasons. I don't know that everybody involved has the same motivations. But why are you guys afraid to put out the names? The attorneys say don't?
Death threats. A lot of us are mothers. You know, we want the names to be out there. We want justice. But why do we have to do it? That's a very scary thing, and I think you know that. You know, it's just we want to help to put the names out there, but it's not our responsibility to do so. And I think you know why. I mean, so many people, so many of the survivors.
I get it. I just want you to tell people,
have received
Lisa,
many death threats.
I want you to tell people because, you know, based on what side you're on, and I know nobody should have a side when it comes to defending people who traffic women, young women especially, or any women, there are sides. So that's why I want you to articulate it, and you've done it perfectly, and thank you. I want to ask you something that they just sent me, okay? I just got a note that Larry Summers has said he's stepping back from any public commitments, deeply ashamed by Epstein revelations. Former Treasury Secretary Larry Summers, in a statement Monday, said he would be stepping back from life and expressed deep regret for past messages with the late convicted sex offender Jeffrey Epstein. I'm deeply ashamed of my actions and recognize the pain they've caused. I take full responsibility for my misguided decision to continue communicating with Mr. Epstein. While continuing to fulfill my teaching obligations, I'm not going to go out in public anymore, basically, as part of my broader effort to rebuild trust and repair relationships with people closest to me. What does that mean to you?
Well, if it's true, I'm so grateful that he has empathy for his relationship with Jeffrey Epstein. Us survivors are well aware there are men that were in his orbit that didn't really know what was going on, the depravity of it. They didn't really know that when women were sent to their parties or functions that they were sent by Jeffrey. They had other handlers that were handling things for them. We are well aware of that because we've talked about it. We do know of men like him that have had girls sent to him or girls around him, and they're not fully aware of what's going on. I just don't know who out of those is telling the truth and who's not telling the truth. But I am aware there are a lot of men who are in Jeffrey's orbit that were not aware of the sex trafficking ring. That's a fact.
It's interesting that you, as a survivor, are offering nuance that no one in politics ever has offered anyone. You've got the left saying that the whole Epstein class has to go. Anybody who knew anything, they all have to get accountability. And you know what the right used to say about the Clintons and Pizzagate and everything else. Why do you think you're able to have a more, I don't know what the right word is, but sympathetic view than the people who are pushing for the release?
I don't think it's a sympathetic view. I just think there's many, many layers to Jeffrey Epstein. I believe there's ones that were well aware of a sex trafficking ring and benefiting from it. Hey, have this girl. She goes into a room, has sex with you, and leaves. You know, and then there were ones that were just around him because he was a brilliant, intelligent person who back then had a good reputation, and there were just pretty young girls around. You know, so I do believe there are definite layers to it, and that's the problem right now, is figuring out who were the ones that are at the top of those layers and who were just the ones that were just the fluff around.
Well, can I ask you something? Can you, I mean, you're going to get a lot of opportunities, and you should, but can you keep us in mind, if this information comes out, we're going to need somebody who isn't just looking to skewer, you know, the other side or whoever they're going to run against next, and can say, this is what we understand about this person, this is what we don't, this is what I've heard, this is what I don't know, this is what they should be asked. I think it would be really helpful, and just in this interview, you know, your ability to rephrase what I'm asking you, to put it in the proper context of how you see it, is super helpful. And I really hope you get the opportunity to explore these layers that you lay out, and I'd be very privileged to do it with you here.
Okay, that would be great. We need people on our side like that. I really appreciate that.
Well, everybody's saying they're on your side. Let's just see what happens when information starts to come out and what they use it for and who it benefits and who it doesn't. At NewsNation, we'll be putting it out. We'll always be driving it.
We'll see in the next few days, right?
Right. We'll always be driving it through you guys, because you're advocating the only thing that should matter here, which is you and your families getting closure on who did this, who knew about it, who could have made it a difference. So we're here, and I wish you well until I see you again. Thank you for watching. Subscribe below and download our NewsNation app right now on your phone, and you will get fact-based, unbiased news for all Americans.